Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Raising Healthy Mothers. So this is not the episode I had planned to record. So we've just come to the end of half term and my children have decided to get sick one after the other over the last couple of days. And we both have had a few nights of quite broken sleep between changing sheets and comforting sad, sick children. And honestly, I am really tired, unsurprisingly. And it's obviously been really difficult because my eldest, who should be at school, has been home today, which makes it much, much harder to do any work. And there's a lot I need to do because the spring gut reset properly starts on Monday and there's still material that I need to produce and upload. But honestly, my head feels like it's full of cotton wool and I'm finding it hard to string a sentence together, let alone try and be inspiring. And, 6 months ago, I probably would have forced myself to just push through and just get on with it. And while I am still doing the work, because it does need to be done, I'm trying to do it in a way that feels easy and low effort. And quite frankly, this podcast episode is one of them. Whereas normally I'd do something that's about 20 minutes long, this one's probably going to be less than 5 minutes. Because what I thought I'd do in this episode is share how I'm coping with a day like today and what's like genuinely real, like what it is that I can do as a nutritional therapist who knows how important things can be but still has a lot to do on her plate and has children that need looking after even though I'm feeling super tired. So I thought I'd share what I'm still trying to prioritize even though everything feels way too much and all I want to do is jump headfirst into a bar of chocolate and a plate of biscuits. So as I said, it's been a full-on few weeks. We've had half term where obviously things are all up in the air, and while it's been lovely spending lots of time together, it has been full on, as you know what it's like when you are with children. And now, like I said, I have poorly children and not much sleep. I'm really, really frazzled. And it is very real that I want to jump head first into a bar of chocolate. Of course it is. When you are sleep deprived, your body literally is designed to crave the thing that is going to keep it going. Of course it's going to crave sugar and chocolate because it knows that that's going to give it that pick-me-up that it really, really wants. But I also know that more often than not, that is probably just going to make me feel not great about myself, feel a lot of guilt and shame. Whereas I know there are things I can do to make me feel a little bit more human. And that's what I'm leaning into today. So here's what I'm doing that's helping, even though they're quite small things, but they really make a difference. So starting off this morning when I woke up, I had a big glass of water. I was really dehydrated anyway. I knew I needed it. My body was telling me. But it's just a good reminder that starting the day with a big glass of water is really, really important rather than going straight in for the coffee or, forgetting to have anything at all. I also made sure that I had a proper breakfast with protein. So for me, I actually didn't have much appetite today. So I had a little bit of Greek yogurt, some granola and some berries. And I had a client call, so I just really quickly had that while I was preparing for that. Something eaten very quickly. It was actually very satisfying. Berries are beautifully in season at the moment, so it's really, really nice to be able to just gorge on them for a change. As I said, I've been craving chocolate and it's not surprising because my body is literally in survival mode at the moment. So what I did, instead of having a bar of chocolate, apart from anything else, I didn't actually have any chocolate in the house, but I made myself a protein chocolate shake first. So that was really simple with some protein powder, some cocoa, some honey and some milk and a bit of vanilla extract as well. And I did think about optimizing it with some avocado or adding some other stuff in. I was like, actually, do you know what? What I really wanted was a chocolate milk. So that was basically what it was, except with a bit of added protein as well to help me get through the day. And it was really delicious. It was actually genuinely tasted like chocolate milk and it was exactly hit the spot. I also went out for a walk with my chocolate protein shake, which was exactly what I needed actually. The weather's pretty dicey today. It's been raining, it's like really heavy winds, but it was actually what I needed to kind of get a bit of fresh air. It's so easy for me to forget to get out, especially on my work days, because my work days are pretty short. I only work part-time around school hours, so I have a lot to pack in not very much time. So it's easy for me to forget to get out. So today, even though I had even less time than normal and a lot more to do than normal, actually getting out for a walk felt really, really, really nourishing. And it reminded me that actually I should do that even on the days when I feel fine, because it is going to be helpful, whatever it is I'm doing. I have a fridge full of leftovers at the moment. Past me was very, very organised, or at least maybe past me just cooked way too much food and, was a bit over ambitious. That's fine. I love leftovers for lunch. It's genuinely my favourite thing to have for lunch. So it means that I'm able to eat something proper, even though I really have no capacity for actually cooking or preparing any food. So it's been a slow day, even though I have a lot to do, and I think that's okay. I'm probably going to have to make up for it later doing some work in the evenings on other days, but that's okay, because right now, today, I really needed to take things slowly. And honestly, that's why this episode is really super short, because instead of forcing myself to create something perfect or polished or long or profound, I'm actually just sharing what is real for me right now. So look, I'm not sharing this to make you feel really bad if you've had a similar kind of really broken night and all you've done today is eat a load of biscuits and drink a load of coffee. Do you know what? That's genuinely what I feel like. And like I said, often that is literally what our bodies are designed to do. It's designed to look for these quick fixes and pick-me-ups because it needs to survive, and it feels like it is in that survival mode right now. So, don't feel bad, don't feel guilty, don't feel like you've got no willpower or motivation. It's perfectly normal. But I think my motivation for sharing this is just to show how just some tiny little changes, some tiny choices where you get to put yourself first for a change, or just make a choice that is about caring for yourself for once, can really help you feel a little bit better about yourself and just get rid of that shame and guilt if you do go for that bar of chocolate anyway. Remember, you need to be looked after in the same way that you look after your children. So if your child has had a really broken night or is really feeling under the weather, you would look after them, and I think you need looking after too. So if you are in that place too, tired, touched out, maybe had a string of broken nights, craving all the snacks and wondering how you're going to get through the day, then just know that you're not alone. Doing something to care for yourself is genuinely enough. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. It doesn't have to be a big gesture. Sometimes it is just a glass of water and a sit down with a cup of hot tea. That still counts as taking care of yourself and putting yourself first, looking after yourself the way you would your child. And honestly, that is exactly why I created the Spring Reset. It's not actually designed for the days when everything's flowing and life is calm, but it's for the days when it's not. It's for those days when you need those tiny little reminders of tweaks that you can make that will make you feel good about yourself, even when you're not feeling great at all. When you still want to feel better, but you need things to be really simple and doable. So we start this coming Monday, and if you want to join us, I'd love to have you there. If you head over to the show notes, I will put the link there and you can follow it up. Thank you so much for listening to such a short episode of Raising Healthy Mothers this week, especially if today feels hard for you too. Go gently, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.